Hi, I'm Victor Hansen. I'll tell you who I am in just a second, but I'm really excited to talk to you, and I want to invite you to do something that's going to make a difference, that makes a difference, that leaves a lasting, impactful difference with your great compassion, love, and joy. You probably know me as the co-author and co-creator of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, and they're all over the world, I'm thankful to say. And then we did a whole money series, 1 Minute Millionaire, where we teach people how to create wealth, and both residual income and residual philanthropy, which is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about now. And then we did a book with Art Linkletter, How to Make the Rest of Your Life the Best of Your Life, 10 ways to add 10 years each to your life. But today, one of those ways to add life to your years and years to your life is to be a philanthropist. That means lover of humanity. That means contributor. Because I teach in a triangle, you got to create it, then you got to connect with people with wealth, and then you got to contribute it back. And I believe in my heart of heart that you're supposed to give 10%, save 10% of your income, and then invest 10% of your income. But today, let's talk about giving 10% of your income. And if you've never given, you want to start giving, because giving is like the radiance of the sun, where the giant mirror that wraps around it is called God. And when you say, well, I was nice to that person, they'll be nice to me, but it actually bounces and it comes back on you, multiplied, magnetized, and magnified. I want to ask you to give in a different way maybe than you've ever thought of giving now. What happens is there's a lot of people hungry in the world, and they're hungry because they don't have a job. They don't have a job because there's no work. They don't have a job because no one's thought through the work. So what has happened is the Nobel Prize for the first time in human history has been given to a great man. Professor Muhammad Yunus started the Grameen Bank in Bangladesh. Now the beautiful thing is that in a few short years, he's given out 3,600,000 loans to women. They usually do 4 or 5 women. Each woman signs a guarantee that if that woman borrows $100 to make leather shoes or to start milking cows and she doesn't pay back, one of the other 3 women have to pay back. Here's the beauty. 98.7% of the people pay back. I was just in Singapore, and my goal was to meet Muhammad Yunus because I knew he was talking there the next day and I had to fly out. Well, I knew he'd be staying at the Ritz-Carlton. I was staying at the Ritz-Carlton. I put out my thought form. We're going into the elevator at 10:30 at night, and who comes out with 2 bodyguards? Muhammad Yunus. We met, we embraced. I saw this guy had an energy orbit and a feel to me of like Mahatma Gandhi, like Martin Luther King. This guy is one of the eclectic people like the Dalai Lama of our time. He just wowed my soul. I said, Dr. Yunus, I plan on doing something great for you. I said, I know you got a minute here, just listen. I want to go out on my own nickel and find 1 million people that'll give $100 a month. That's 100 million a month. Annualized out, that's $1.2 billion. Annualized out over 5 years, we end poverty in the whole world for 5 billion people, which means they'll have work, which means they'll have water, which means they'll have clothes, which means they'll have housing, which means they'll have education, which means they'll have electricity at all. You can do it by giving $100. Now, I've started my own foundation for a very simple reason. It's called the Victor Hansen Foundation. It's right here in Newport Beach. I've got one of my directors sitting in the room with us right now. She's running the finance of it. She is CFO of it. Her name is Karen Schoenfeld. What we want to do is raise that money. We're going to go through my public 501c3 foundation for a very simple reason. I have been the key speaker and spokesperson for companies like the American Red Cross, March of Dimes, and a few others. When too much money comes in too fast, sometimes that money gets commingled. What we promise to do at the Victor Hansen Foundation is I'm going to pay for all the administration, so it's going to be 100% pass-through, but we're going to make sure the Grameen Bank does what it's slated to do, because we're going to raise $1 billion, $2 million, $100 million a year. We're going to make sure that the Unite Us Foundation does what it says, what Kiva.org does, which does for women in America. What I want to do is be the front end. I plan on being the promoter. I plan on putting my personal money in the foundation towards raising the money, because one of my great friends, Cynthia Kersey, the author of Unstoppable, said, hey, look, Mark, there's a limit to what you give, but there's no limit what you can inspire other people to give. And that really caught my attention, because I'd already bought 28 homes for Habitat and done all kinds of stuff. I have tithed on every one of the Chicken Soup books. I inspired my partner and our publisher to do that. I do that in every book I do, on every business project I do. I'm asking you to give. I'm asking you to give substantially if you're substantial, but if you can give $100 a month, I want you to dig deep, give $100 a month, and know that that money is going to work. Now, I'll promise you some other things. You will get to go see your money at work if you get consistent, persistent, and insistent about this, because I've decided what the goal is. We are going to end poverty. We're going to create worldwide wealth. We're going to do it between now and 2014. To me, it's exquisitely exciting. It's tantalizingly relevant. It's loomingly possible. Very few people would agree with what I said, but if you're watching this, and hopefully you'll virally share this with 3 or 4 of your friends that have a little bit of affluence, and they'll have more affluence by being giving, because when you're giving, you're living. It opens up the possibility for you. I wrote a whole book called The Miracle of Tithing, which if you decide to give, we're going to email that to you. So you can email us at Karen@markvictorhansen.com, and she will send you out a free copy. But what I teach is 4 things. You got to tithe your thinking. That's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to make a big contribution to consciousness, because consciousness always has been, always will be the first thing that happens. The idea precedes the action. The form follows the function. So you've got to tithe your thinking, then your time, then your talent, then your treasure. Yeah, and I'm asking for $100 from you. And do I want anything out of it? Absolutely not. I just happen to believe that microcredit is the way we get people out of poverty. I was a Gandhian scholar when I studied in India for a year, and here's what they say. When you go to Gandhi's house, the biggest sign on the wall says, poverty is the worst violence. I want to end poverty. I need your help to do it. We're going to create entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs are people, according to John Batiste, say that take something from low value and make it a high value. And when they make it a high value, they don't make it a high value for themselves, they make it a high value for the people they serve. And then when they serve greatly with love, which is what I see happening, and you can watch all the videos, go to Grameen Bank, Grameen bank.com. You can go to Unitas, UNT, no E, US.com. You can go to Kiva, KIVA.org. And I'm sure some other microcredits are going to come up. We are going to keep checking them. We're going to be the watchdog, the bird dog. All I want to do is be the promoter, the front end of this thing to open up the floodgates. We have the first time in human history a $50 trillion economy wondering where to go. Well, I'll tell you where it needs to go. If people will start giving, we'll take that 50 trillion, we'll go to 100 trillion. Because you can't give without receiving. When you put it out, it comes back, as I said, multiplied, magnetized, and magnified. It's a consciousness that has to happen. It's a consciousness that can happen now. If you want to end your own poverty, make sure your own prosperity, which in Latin means to be in the flow, is working, you need to contribute. I'm asking you to open your heart, open your mind, make the decision, and let the financial $100 a month make the provision. We'll gladly take your credit cards and flow through. As I said, I will pay for all the administration. I'm going to pay for all the promotion. I'm going to pay for all the watchdogging. All you got to do is decide to contribute. If you got to contribute something less just to get started with $1 a month or $10 a month, we'll take whatever you're willing to do. If you're able to do more, we'll take more. What I want you to do is see that together we're going to end poverty. Thank you.